the quiet moments of our lives, we often hear a whisper. It's a voice that speaks of something more, something greater than our current circumstances. This voice calls us to rise above mediocrity, to reach for the stars, to become the best version of ourselves. But here's the truth that many overlook. This call to greatness comes with a price tag. It demands something from us that we might not be prepared to give. What is this price? It's sacrifice. Think about it for a moment. Every single one of us yearns for success. We dream of achievements, accolades, and a life filled with meaning and purpose. We see others who have climbed to the pinnacle of their fields, and we wonder, how did they do it? The answer, more often than not, lies in what they were willing to give up. Success in its truest form is not handed to us on a silver platter. It's not a gift that's bestowed upon the lucky few. No, success is earned through hard work, dedication, and yes, sacrifice. It's about making tough choices, often between what we want now and what we want most. Consider the athlete who wakes up at dawn to train while others sleep. Think about the entrepreneur who works through weekends and holidays to build their dream. Reflect on the student who forgoes parties of study, aiming for a brighter future. These individuals understand a fundamental truth. Greatness demands sacrifice. But here's the beautiful part. When we embrace this concept, when we accept that sacrifice is not a burden, but a gateway, we unlock potential within ourselves that we never knew existed. We tap into reservoirs of strength, creativity, and resilience that propel us towards our goals. As we embark on this journey together, exploring the intricate dance between success and sacrifice, remember this: the path to achievement is not always easy, but it is always worth it. The sacrifices you make today are the building blocks of the success you'll enjoy tomorrow. Are you ready to answer the call to greatness? Are you prepared to make the sacrifices necessary to turn your dreams into reality? Let's explore this powerful concept further, understanding that every step forward, every sacrifice made, brings us closer to the success we desire. The road ahead may be challenging, but with the right mindset, with an understanding of the power of sacrifice, you can achieve things beyond your wildest dreams. Let's begin this transformative journey together. When we talk about success, what comes to your mind? Is it a big house, a fancy car, or a high-paying job? While these things can be part of success, they don't tell the whole story. Let's dig deeper into what true success really means. Success is more than just having lots of money or things. It's about feeling good about who you are and what you do. Think about someone who has a job that pays well but makes them unhappy every day. Are they truly successful? On the other hand, imagine someone who doesn't have much money but loves their work and feels they're making a difference. Which person do you think feels more successful? True success is about reaching your full potential as a person. It's about growing, learning, and becoming the best version of yourself. This kind of success brings a deep sense of satisfaction that money can't buy. It's the feeling you get when you overcome a challenge, learn a new skill, or help someone in need. One important part of true success is finding your purpose. Your purpose is like your personal mission in life. It's what makes you excited to get out of bed in the morning. When you align your actions with your purpose, you're more likely to feel fulfilled and successful. For example, let's say your purpose is to help protect the environment. You might feel successful when you start a community recycling program, even if you don't make any money from it. The sense of making a positive impact becomes your measure of success. Success also involves your relationships with others. Having strong, positive connections with family, friends, and your community can bring a deep sense of achievement and happiness. These relationships often require time, effort, and yes, sacrifice. But the rewards they bring are priceless. Another aspect of true success is personal growth. This means constantly challenging yourself to learn and improve. It might involve reading books, taking classes, or trying new experiences. Each time you grow as a person, you're achieving a form of success. It's important to understand that success looks different for everyone. What makes one person feel successful might not work for another. That's why it's crucial to define success for yourself. based on your own values, goals, and dreams. As we think about success, we should also consider the impact we have on others and the world around us. True success often involves making a positive difference, no matter how small. This could be as simple as being kind to others or as big as starting a charity. Remember, success is not a destination but a journey. It's not about reaching a final goal and stopping. Instead, it's about continually striving to be better, to do more, and to make a positive impact. So as we move forward in our discussion about success and sacrifice, keep in mind this broader view of success. It's not just about what you have, but about who you become and what you contribute to the world. This understanding will help you make more meaningful sacrifices and find deeper, more lasting success in your life. Let's talk about sacrifice. It's a word we often hear, but what does it really mean? At its core, sacrifice is about giving up something valuable for the sake of something even more important. It's like trading a good thing for a better thing, even when it's not easy. Think of sacrifice like this. Imagine you have a jar full of small pebbles. These pebbles represent all the little things you enjoy in life. Maybe it's watching TV, sleeping in, or eating junk food. Now, I imagine you have a big, beautiful rock that represents your biggest dream or goal. This rock is too big to fit in the jar with all the pebbles. To make room for the rock, you need to take out some pebbles. That's what sacrifice is all about. Removing some smaller pleasures to make room for something greater. Many people have the wrong idea about sacrifice. They think it's all about losing things or making yourself miserable. But that's not true at all. Real sacrifice isn't about punishment or depriving yourself just for the sake of it. It's about making smart choices that align with your bigger goals. Here's another way to look at it. Sacrifice is like being the director of your own life movie. Sometimes you need to cut certain scenes you enjoy to make the overall story of your life better. It might feel hard in the moment, but it makes the final product much more satisfying. The power of sacrifice to change our lives is truly amazing. When we sacrifice, we're actually doing three important things. We're showing ourselves what we truly value. Our sacrifices reveal what matters most to us. We're building our willpower, self-discipline. Each sacrifice strengthens our ability to make tough choices. We're thing in our future. By giving up something now, we often setting ourselves up for greater rewards later. Let me give you an example. Imagine a student who loves playing video games. She realizes that to get into her dream college, she needs to improve her grades. So she decides to sacrifice 2 hours of gaming every day to study instead. At first, it feels tough. She misses her games, but as her grades improve, she starts to feel more confident and proud of herself. Her sacrifice is transforming her into a more disciplined, focused person. Sacrifice also has a ripple effect on others around us. When people see us making sacrifices for our goals, it can inspire them to do the same. It's like dropping a stone in a pond. The ripple spread out far beyond where the stone first hit the water. For instance, think about parents who sacrifice their own comforts to provide better opportunities for their children. Those children grow up seeing the power of sacrifice and often go on to make their own sacrifices for their goals or for others. The impact of one person's sacrifice can span generations. Understanding the true nature of sacrifice helps us see it not as a burden, but as a powerful tool for growth and achievement. It's not about losing something, but about exchanging something good for something even better. When we embrace this perspective, we start to view our sacrifices not with dread, but with excitement for the positive changes they'll bring into our lives. As we continue our journey exploring success and sacrifice, keep this deeper understanding in mind. Recognize that each sacrifice you make is a step towards becoming the person you want to be and achieving the dreams you hold dear. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. That success and sacrifice are like two sides of the same coin. They're deeply connected, and understanding this connection is key to achieving your goals. Let's explore why success often demands sacrifice and how this relationship works in real life. First, we need to recognize that success in any form requires resources. These resources might be time, energy, money, or focus. The challenge is that we all have limited resources. There are only 24 hours in a day, and we only have so much energy to give. This is where sacrifice comes in. Dedicate resources to one area of our lives. We often need to take them from another. Think about it like this. Imagine you have a big puzzle to complete. This puzzle represents your goal. Maybe it's starting a business, earning a degree, or mastering a skill. To work on this puzzle, you need to clear space on your table. But your table is already full of other things. These represent your current commitments and habits. To make room for your puzzle, you need to move some of these other things aside. That's sacrifice in action. Let's look at some examples of how great achievers have used sacrifice to reach success. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, often worked 20 hours a day on his inventions. He sacrificed sleep, leisure time, and even some of his health in pursuit of his goals. His sacrifice led to innovations that changed the world. Oprah Winfrey grew up in poverty, but became one of the most successful media personalities in the world. To achieve this, she sacrificed a normal childhood, working jobs from a young age, and dedicating herself to education and self-improvement. Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer, sacrificed a typical teenage life to train for hours every day, including holidays and weekends. His dedication resulted in becoming the most decorated Olympian of all time. These examples show us that significant achievements often require significant sacrifices. But it's important to note that these sacrifices weren't random or pointless. They were strategic choices made in service of a greater goal. The ripple effect of personal sacrifice extends beyond just the individual. When we make sacrifices for our goals, we often inspire and influence those around us. For instance, a parent who sacrifices career advancement to spend more time with their children might inspire those children to value family and make similar choices in the future. An entrepreneur who sacrifices a stable job to pursue their passion might inspire their employees to take risks and chase their own dreams. The community leader who sacrifices personal time to volunteer might motivate others in the community to get involved and make a difference. This ripple effect shows us that our sacrifices can have a much broader impact than we might initially realize. They can create a culture of dedication and perseverance that spreads to others. Understanding the relationship between success and sacrifice also helps us appreciate our achievements more deeply. When we recognize the sacrifices we've made to reach a goal, we value the outcome more. It's the difference between being given something and earning it through hard work and dedication. Moreover, the process of making sacrifices often prepares us for success. It builds character, develops discipline, and teaches us valuable skills. The student who sacrifices social time to study isn't just learning academic material. They're also learning time management, self-control, and the value of hard work. These lessons are often just as valuable as the direct outcome of their sacrifice. As we move forward in our discussion, keep in mind this crucial relationship between success and sacrifice. Remember that every great achievement has a story of sacrifice behind it. By understanding this, you can approach your own sacrifices not as losses, but as investments in your future success. The path may be challenging, but the rewards, both in terms of your goals and your personal growth, can be truly extraordinary. As we continue our journey of understanding success and sacrifice, let's focus on identifying the specific sacrifices that are often necessary for achieving our goals. Remember, not all sacrifices are created equal, and it's crucial to recognize which ones will truly propel us towards our dreams. Time and immediate pleasures are the most common and significant sacrifices, we need to make is with our time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but how we choose to use those hours can make all the difference. Achieving great things often requires us to sacrifice immediate pleasures for long-term gains. Think about a student aiming for top grades. They might need to sacrifice time spent watching TV or playing video games to study instead. Or consider an aspiring entrepreneur who gives up leisurely weekends to work on their business plan. These individuals are trading short-term enjoyment for long-term success. But it's not just about working more hours. It's about using our time more effectively. This might mean waking up earlier, cutting down on social media scrolling, or saying no to activities that don't align with our goals. Each minute we save from less important activities can be reinvested into our dreams. Comfort zones and familiar routines. Another crucial area of sacrifice involves stepping out of our comfort zones and disrupting familiar routines. Growth and success often lie just beyond the boundaries of what feels comfortable and safe. As in someone who dreams of becoming a public speaker, but has a fear of addressing large crowds. To achieve their goal, they'll need to sacrifice the comfort of staying silent. They might need to join a speaking club, volunteer for presentations at work, or even sign up for local speaking events. Each of these actions requires leaving the safety of their usual routine. But think about someone trying to start a healthy lifestyle. They might need to sacrifice the comfort of sleeping in to make time for morning workouts. They might need to give up their usual fast food lunches for home-prepared, nutritious meals. These changes disrupt the familiar, but pave the way for positive transformation. Even our comfort zone isn't easy. It often feels scary or uncomfortable. But it's in this discomfort that we find opportunities for growth and learning. Each time we push ourselves beyond what's familiar, we expand our capabilities and move closer to our goals. Limiting beliefs and negative influences, perhaps one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked areas of necessary sacrifice involves our mindset and the company we keep. Achieving success frequently requires us to let go of limiting beliefs about ourselves and distance ourselves from negative influences in our lives. Limiting beliefs are those inner voices that tell us we're not good enough, smart enough, or deserving enough to achieve our dreams. Sacrificing these beliefs means consciously challenging and replacing them with positive, empowering thoughts. It's about sacrificing the comfort of staying in our current mindset for the potential of what we could become. For instance, someone might have always believed they're bad with money. To achieve financial success, they need to sacrifice this limiting belief and embrace the idea that they can learn and become financially savvy. Similarly, we might need to sacrifice relationships or social circles that hold us back. This doesn't mean cutting off all friendships, but it might mean spending less time with people who discourage our dreams or pull us into unproductive habits. Instead, we might need to seek out new connections with individuals who inspire and challenge us to grow. This type of sacrifice can be emotionally challenging. It might mean having difficult conversations with friends or family members or facing our own deep-seated insecurities. But the freedom and growth that come from releasing these mental and social constraints can be truly transformative. As we identify these necessary sacrifices of time, comfort, and limiting influences, it's important to approach them with a positive mindset. These aren't punishments or losses, but rather investments in our future selves. Each sacrifice we make is a step towards becoming the person we aspire to be and achieving the success we desire. Remember, the goal isn't to sacrifice everything. It's about making strategic choices, giving up what's good to gain what's great. By carefully identifying and making these necessary sacrifices, we create space in our lives for extraordinary achievements and personal growth. In the next section, we'll explore how to overcome the fear that often accompanies these sacrifices and how to embrace them as opportunities rather than obstacles. Are you ready to identify the sacrifices that will propel you towards your dreams? Let's dive into one of the most challenging aspects of making sacrifices, overcoming the fear that often comes with them. This fear can be a significant barrier preventing us from taking the necessary steps towards our goals. But understanding and conquering this fear is crucial for our journey to success. Understanding the root of fear, it's called the fear of sacrifice, often stems from our innate desire for security and comfort. We're naturally inclined to avoid loss and protect what we already have. This instinct served our ancestors well for survival, but in our modern quest for success and personal growth, it can hold us back. Think about it this way. When we sacrifice something, we're stepping into the unknown. We're trading a known present for an uncertain future. This uncertainty triggers our fear response. For example, when considering leaving a stable job to start a business, the fear of losing financial security can be overwhelming. Or when deciding to cut ties with negative influences in our lives, we might fear loneliness or social rejection. Another root of this fear is our attachment to our current identity. Sacrifices often require us to change not just what we do, but who we are. This can be scary because it challenges our sense of self. A person who's always seen themselves as easygoing might fear sacrificing leisure time to pursue a demanding goal because it doesn't align with their self-image. Shifting perspective on loss and gain. To overcome the fear of sacrifice, we need to shift our perspective. Instead of focusing on what we're giving up, we should train ourselves to see what we're gaining. This shift transforms sacrifice from a loss to an exchange. We're not losing something. We're trading it for something of greater value. Let's use an analogy to illustrate this. Imagine you have a handful of coins. You're offered to exchange these coins for a gold bar. At first, you might hesitate. You can see and feel the coins in your hand. They're tangible and familiar. The gold bar, while valuable, is unknown and new. Letting go of the coins might feel like a loss. But by shifting your perspective, you realize you're not losing coins, you're gaining something far more valuable. In the same way, when we make sacrifices for our goals, we're exchanging something good for something potentially great. The college student sacrificing party time to study isn't losing fun. They're gaining knowledge, skills, and future opportunities. The entrepreneur sacrificing a steady paycheck isn't losing security. They're gaining freedom, potential for growth, and the fulfillment of pursuing their passion. This shift in perspective doesn't happen overnight. It requires conscious effort and practice. One effective way to cultivate this mindset is to regularly remind yourself of your ROI, the deeper reason behind your goals. When you connect your sacrifices to your greater purpose, they begin to feel less like losses and more like necessary steps on your journey. Embracing discomfort as a catalyst for growth. Another key to overcoming the fear of sacrifice is learning to embrace discomfort. Growth and comfort rarely coexist. The discomfort we feel when making sacrifices is often a sign that we're pushing our boundaries and expanding our capabilities. Think of this discomfort like the burning sensation in your muscles during a workout. While it might not feel pleasant in the moment, it's a sign that you're getting stronger. Similarly, the discomfort of sacrifice is a sign of personal growth. We could embrace this discomfort, start small, make minor sacrifices and notice how you feel afterward. Did sacrificing an hour of TV for reading or exercise make you feel more productive? Did saying no to a social event to work on your goals give you a sense of purpose? By recognizing the positive outcomes of small sacrifices, you can build the confidence to make larger ones. It's also helpful to reframe discomfort as excitement. The physical sensations of fear and excitement are surprisingly similar. Racing heart, butterflies in the stomach. By consciously interpreting these sensations as excitement for the possibilities ahead rather than fear of what you're giving up, you can shift your emotional response to sacrifice. Remember, every great achievement in history came with its share of sacrifices and discomfort. The Wright brothers sacrificed safety and faced public ridicule in their quest to achieve human flight. Marie Curie sacrificed her health in her groundbreaking work on radioactivity. Her willingness to embrace discomfort led to world-changing discoveries. As you face your own fears of sacrifice, Remind yourself that this discomfort is not your enemy. It's a sign that you're on the right path. It's evidence that you're stretching yourself, growing, and moving towards your goals. In our next section, we'll explore how to make these sacrifices strategically, ensuring that every sacrifice you make brings you closer to your vision of success. Are you ready to embrace the discomfort of sacrifice and use it as a catalyst for your growth? Now that we've explored the nature of sacrifice and how to overcome the fear associated with it, let's delve into the art of making strategic sacrifices. This is where we learn to be selective and intentional about what we give up, ensuring that each sacrifice brings us closer to our goals. Prioritizing what truly matters. The step in strategic sacrifice is understanding what truly matters to you. This requires deep self-reflection and honesty. Ask yourself, what are my core values? What are my long-term goals? What kind of person do I want to become? Imagine you're an architect designing the blueprint of your ideal life. Just as an architect must decide which elements are essential and which are optional, you need to identify the non-negotiable aspects of your life and goals. These become your priorities. For example, if your ultimate goal is to become a renowned chef, your priorities might include culinary education, hands-on experience in top kitchens, and developing your unique cooking style. Understanding these priorities helps you identify which sacrifices are worthwhile and which aren't. Once you've identified your priorities, rank them. This ranking becomes your decision-making framework. When faced with choices that require sacrifice, you can refer to this framework to guide your decisions, differentiating between necessary and unnecessary sacrifice. Not all sacrifices are created equal. Some bring us closer to our goals, while others might just drain our resources without providing significant benefits. Learning to differentiate between necessary and unnecessary sacrifices is crucial. Think of your journey towards success as a road trip. Necessary sacrifices are like the fuel you put in your car. They're essential for moving forward. Unnecessary sacrifices, on the other hand, are like extra weight in your trunk. They slow you down without contributing to your progress. To differentiate between necessary and unnecessary sacrifices, ask yourself these questions. Does this sacrifice align with my top priorities? Will this sacrifice bring me significantly closer to my goals? Is the potential benefit worth what I'm giving up? Are there alternative ways to achieve the same result without this particular sacrifice? Let's consider an example. Imagine you're an aspiring entrepreneur, sacrificing a stable job to focus full-time on your startup might be a necessary sacrifice if you've done your research, have a solid business plan, and some savings. However, sacrificing all your personal relationships in the name of hustle might be unnecessary and potentially harmful in the long run. Remember, the goal of strategic sacrifice isn't to give up everything. It's about making smart trades that accelerate your progress toward your goals. Now that we understand how to prioritize and differentiate sacrifices, let's talk about creating a personal sacrifice plan. This plan will serve as your roadmap, guiding your sacrifices and keeping you focused on your ultimate goals. Starting off, start by listing your top 3 to 5 goals. Under each goal, the necessary sacrifices to achieve this goal, the potential unnecessary sacrifices to avoid the timeline for these sacrifices, the expected outcomes of each sacrifice. For instance, if one of your goals is to run a marathon, your plan might look like this. Run a marathon in 12 months. Necessary sacrifice it. Mr. Whooped up 1 hour earlier for morning, runs timeline. Cut down on junk food and alcohol. Conveniently over 3 months. Produce evening TV time to allow for evening workouts. Unnecessary sacrifices to avoid. Completely cutting out all social activities. Neglecting family time. expected outcomes. Improve physical fitness, better discipline and time management skills, sense of accomplishment. By creating this plan, you make your sacrifices intentional and measurable. You're not just giving things up randomly. You're making calculated decisions to support your goals. Review and adjust your sacrifice plan regularly. As you progress towards your goals, your priorities might shift and new opportunities might arise. Be flexible and willing to adapt your plan as needed. Remember, strategic sacrifice is not about deprivation. It's about making conscious choices to invest your limited resources, time, energy, focus in the areas that matter most to you. Each sacrifice you make is a step towards becoming the person you aspire to be and achieving the success you desire. In our next section, we'll explore how these sacrifices build resilience and contribute to long-term success. Are you ready to create your personal sacrifice plan and start making strategic decisions that will propel you towards your dreams? Let's explore how the sacrifices we make not only bring us closer to our goals, but also build our resilience, a crucial quality for long-term success. Resilience is our ability to bounce back from setbacks, adapt to change, and keep going in the face of adversity. It's like a muscle that grows stronger with exercise, and sacrifice is one of the most effective workouts for this muscle. Developing mental toughness. When we make sacrifices, we're essentially training our minds to delay gratification and endure discomfort for a greater purpose. This process develops mental toughness, the ability to persist in the face of challenges and push through difficulties. Think of it like this. Every time you choose to sacrifice something you want now for something you want more in the future, you're flexing your mental toughness muscle. For instance, when you choose to wake up early to work on your side business instead of sleeping in, you're not just making progress on your business, you're also training your mind to prioritize long-term goals over short-term comfort. This mental toughness becomes invaluable when you face obstacles on your journey to success. Because you've practiced making hard choices and pushing through discomfort, you're better equipped to handle setbacks and challenges when they arise. Learning from setbacks and failures. Sacrifice often involves taking risks, and with risk comes the possibility of failure. However, these failures, when approached with the right mindset, become powerful learning opportunities that contribute to our resilience. Resilience is amplified. A stable job to start your own business. After a few months, you realize your initial business model isn't working. This setback might feel like a failure at first, but it's actually a valuable learning experience. You now have first-hand knowledge of what doesn't work in your industry, which puts you in a better position to succeed on your next attempt. The key is to approach these setbacks with a growth mindset. Instead of seeing failures as evidence that your sacrifices were in vain, view them as necessary steps on your path to success. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I use this knowledge to improve my approach? This ability to learn and grow from setbacks is a cornerstone of resilience. It allows you to adapt your strategies without losing sight of your ultimate goals. The compounding effect of consistent sacrifice. One of the most powerful aspects of sacrifice in building resilience is its compounding effect over time. Each sacrifice you make not only brings you closer to your goal, but also makes future sacrifices easier. Think of it like saving money. At first, putting aside a portion of your paycheck might feel difficult. But as you see your savings grow, it becomes easier to continue. And you might even increase the amount you save. The same principle applies to other types of sacrifices. For example, if you're sacrificing leisure time to learn a new skill, the first few weeks might be challenging. But as you start to see progress and experience the benefits of your new knowledge, the sacrifice becomes easier to maintain. You might even find yourself willingly dedicating more time to learning. This compounding effect creates a positive feedback loop. As you make sacrifices and see results, your confidence in your ability to achieve your goals grows. This increased confidence makes you more willing to make further sacrifices, which in turn leads to more progress and even greater confidence. Over time, this cycle doesn't just bring you closer to your goals. It fundamentally changes who you are. You become a person who is comfortable with discomfort, who sees challenges as opportunities, and who has the mental toughness to persist when things get difficult. In other words, you become resilient. Remember, building resilience through sacrifice is not about being harsh on yourself or glorifying struggle. It's about intentionally putting yourself in situations that challenge you and help you grow. It's about making choices that align with your long-term vision, even when those choices are difficult in the short term. As you continue on your journey of sacrifice and success, pay attention to how each sacrifice contributes to your resilience. Notice how challenges that once seemed insurmountable start to feel manageable. Observe how your capacity to handle stress and setbacks increases over time. In our next section, we'll explore the rewards that come from making these sacrifices, not just in terms of achieving your goals, but in terms of personal growth and self-discovery. As we've journeyed through the landscape of sacrifice and success, we've explored the challenges, the fears, and the strategies for making effective sacrifices. Now let's turn our attention to the rewards that come from this journey. These rewards extend far beyond just achieving our initial goals. They encompass personal growth, self-discovery, and a profound sense of fulfillment. Personal growth and self-discovery. One of the most significant rewards of sacrifice is the personal growth it fosters. When we make sacrifices, we are essentially pushing ourselves beyond our comfort zones. This process of stretching ourselves inevitably leads to growth. Think about a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. The caterpillar must sacrifice its current form, entering a chrysalis where it literally breaks down its body before rebuilding itself into something new and beautiful. In a similar way, our sacrifices break down our old habits, beliefs, and limitations, allowing us to rebuild ourselves into stronger, more capable versions of ourselves. For example, let's consider someone who sacrifices their free time to learn a new language. Beyond just gaining linguistic skills, this person might discover hidden reserves of discipline they never knew they had. They might uncover a passion for different cultures or develop a new appreciation for the nuances of communication. These discoveries about themselves are just as valuable as the language skills they set out to acquire. Going over the process of making sacrifices often leads us to clarify our values and priorities. When we're forced to choose between different options, we learn what truly matters to us. This self-knowledge is invaluable, guiding our future decisions and helping us lead more authentic lives.